do spend time in Stanley Park. Nice days. We want to make sure that our garbage ends up where it's supposed to and not in the water with these animals. And can anyone see what the trainers are feeding the dolphins? Fish. Oh, Steven Seagal. There he is. Shiny herring, shiny capelin, and it's not unusual for these animals if they see perhaps a shiny pop can or a shiny chip bag or candy wrapper. If that's in the water, they can mistake these things for fish. And so yeah, we have to make sure our garbage ends up where it's supposed to and not in the water with these animals. But how do we train them? How do you get an animal that's been wrapped up in fishing net, probably has no desire whatsoever to interact with these strange two-legged creatures? Well, it is ultimately a bond of trust that needs to be established. And the trainers, as you see them working with the animals, you notice there's lots of positive, oh, that was great, good job. And that's something we encourage our guests as well. If you see something that you appreciate, yes, by all means. These animals, they are mammals. Again, they do respond to positive body energy. But we have to train them with a language that they understand and that we understand. Because we don't speak Dolphin, and occasionally we hear our guests trying to talk to our dolphins, and feel free, knock yourself out. However, no, we don't speak Dolphin. They don't speak a single human language, but they do have really good eyesight. And they quickly learn, all right, I see a certain gesture, a certain hand signal. These trainers would like me to do something. And if it's done correctly, that's where you'll notice the whistles around the trainer's neck, and that comes into play. And then the whistle goes off to let the animal know, all right, I've done what I'm supposed to do, and now it's time to be rewarded in some fashion. It's a system of training known as operant conditioning. It sounds rather interesting, but you may or may not have used this without even realizing it. If you encourage your children to eat their vegetables before you get desserts, well, that's called operant conditioning. It's essentially reward-based, a positive reward for behaviors that you're looking for. And again, any ideas what a positive reward for a dolphin might be? Fish. That's usually the answer. And in a large part, yes, it is a positive reward reinforcement. However, if you've ever worked with animals before, you know that if an animal is feeling stressed or not well, the first thing they stop doing is eating. And so if that's the only way we had to work with these animals, there'd be lots of times when, no, we're just not into it. So you may have noticed earlier, Bobby seemed to be pouring water onto Helen. Well, what's that all about? Well, does anyone here enjoy sitting perhaps in a jacuzzi with the water jet against your back? Is that something you enjoy? Because yeah, these animals, some of the same things you and I might enjoy, they enjoy as well. And so there are other forms of positive reinforcement that we can offer these animals other than just food. And ultimately, in that sense, it means that it's voluntary on the part of the animal. They can choose to participate, they can choose to do the behaviors, they can choose not to do them. And if for one reason or the other, no, they're just not into it, because yes, they have personalities, yes, there are days when, nah, not today. We don't withhold food, we will still feed these animals. They eat about 8 or 9 kilograms of seafood a day. That's 20 pounds of seafood. Can anyone here eat 20 pounds of seafood in a day? That's a lot of food. But yeah, that's what these animals need. That's their kind of requirement. So yes, we obviously feed them, and yes, we'll come out and we'll offer other things. Toys, water baths, the occasional tail rub. Who doesn't enjoy a good tail rub every now and then? Put your hands. Usually foot rub for people. However, yeah, that's the idea. And you may notice that, yes, there are some people meeting the dolphins. Well, that's another part of actually working with these animals, because not only are trainers come and work with these animals, but we're able to train different research behaviors and have different vets come in that perhaps have no experience with dolphins, or different research groups. And we want to make sure that these animals are used to a variety of people working with them, not just the trainers who may or may not be good at catching basketball. So yeah, we need to make sure that there are other people. So we do have encounter programs where you can actually come and help us out, meet one of our animals and pretend to be a trainer for a short time in a space. We only have one dolphin encounter per day, and that ship is currently sailing. However, we also have encounter programs with our belugas, our sea lions, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, our sea otter encounter program still has space today. So if that's something you're interested in, at the main admissions desk, you can go and ask and inquire there. I'll give you an idea on the logistics and the cost of that program. But feel free to continue watching the training session as Bobby and Anna work with the animals along with our encounter participants. And if you'd like to see how this comes together, one of our formal programs, our 12:30 Dolphin and Beluga shows is happening at the same time. And you can either come back and watch how the training takes place with the Dolphins, or also learn a little bit more about how we care for belugas at 12:30. However, on behalf of myself, the trainers, and our remarkable Pacific White-Sided Dolphins, thanks so much for joining us, and enjoy the rest of your morning here at the Vancouver Aquarium. Again, my name is Alex. If you have any questions, happy to try and answer them for you at the top of this ramp. Stay tuned. Enjoy the rest of your morning.
一只抢。
Right.
The bird.
The fish.
What is going to come? What? Henna is not the dolphin.